From marketwizards.com and eminywizard.com. About 10:50 Friday morning, the 29th, 2019. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. So far, that 38 resistance still intact. We said be very conservative, thinking too much in either direction. Probably a range type day. We are testing yesterday's high right now at 24. We'd say the next target could be 25 and a half. You've got to get by. Need to keep 31 behind us to do that. And we said this is the second sell that the boys are putting on. Obviously felt better odds coming backwards. 18 to 22 has been suggested as our support. As we approach the gap, which is 21 area, 21 and a quarter, stops down. And this stolen range is now being reclaimed. It's good news for traders. And this low right down in here, this low, 1, 2. This will be a third time through trade if we get through. And don't forget the gap is 21 and a quarter. Figure 21 and a half. And we said we wanted to monitor 35 today. If it got abandoned, that would be helpful for the shorts. But to do that, we need to break this squeeze pivot, which we have done. And now the low of the day is all important. Still thinking range type trade for now. And this is where if you have a trailer, you can win with a trailer. If not, my suggestion as we get into this 22 to 24 test, you make sure you're paid. Yesterday's high zone. So now we can say that realistically, it's stolen range that we haven't had a chance to participate in is right here. All right, and we can see that, by this line, this was what we had talked about, was our retest of yesterday's high. And for good fortune, you really have to penetrate that by more than a point. You have to bust it and keep on coming and abandon it, just like up here at that 35 high. And we said today, one of the most important things we can do is monitor that prior high and say, do we abandon it or not? And so far, it's been abandoned. We ran right into our extreme level. All we know is we've got a range type trade. Morning after trend day says, can we get to test the previous day's high on the upside? Well, we certainly did that overnight. And then you want to think, can we back and fill? Zeke made an outstanding post where he said it's not a rabid dog day anymore because we've closed the half gap. That's proven to be absolutely true. We still have range day. The current squeeze pivot right here, this 22. And if you had a good trade, make sure you get paid. I know you want more, but make sure you're paid. Coming into yesterday's high to 22. And we said that we were pretty stretched. Here's a 5-minute chart. And let's take a look at the 10. So I'm still sticking to my guns that this is the important support today, 18 to 22. We take out the 18, anything goes. Two-way day. We said that early, probably because of the distance that we've come. Two-way day. Already had gotten our target early. Correct. I agree. Great post, Seek. Okay, so if you got 31 to 32, lock it. If you took a long, based on what we were talking about back here, paid for sure, 24s to 22s, this should be an aggressive zone for taking profits, and for because of that, could be that that's a buy zone. So paid for sure in this box right in here. And now based on our RTH chart, we want to make sure we're paid coming into 31s to 32s. And we've got a dogfight. So two-way day, both sides have jingle. A lot more in the long pocket this week until we bust this and close the gap. Long still in control. 18 to 22 support. If that breaks, opens the door, we can go any place, including coming back in and testing that 15 to 12. But that's probably next week. I'm not really assuming we can do that easily today. Just not. I just think they're trying to paint the tape here a bit. You can see where we've held this blue line in here. So now this is your stolen range. So we've reduced the amount of range that we've had stolen. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high. Longs, if they're going to exert posture, need to get it back up above the 34s to 35s. And that could still be a double top-ish. I'm still thinking the best train of thought is think range as opposed to power up or power down. Need more time. And longs certainly are still in control above 22. 22 and a quarter was my directional pivot, and it still is. Overdone, overdone. Swinging back in. So key resistance zone today got to be that 34 to 35. And if we get it above it and we get continuation, we could still get another sell today. So I think we're trying to build a base right now. Just typical. And it's the last day of the month, so I'm giving a tad of an edge to the longs for morning after trend day. And the afternoon has got to swing around a little bit from a new high for another short for profit taking. So next week we'll be watching this line too as this comes up. See what happens, because that'll be a neckline of importance. Flat top right now if we don't get back up and stay above it. And then we've got to keep an eye, obviously, on this uptrending line. Stolen range day, type of day that you can overtrade. We'd said that was one of the characteristics. You could expect too much on either side. And that's one of the things you want to be careful of on a day like today is don't overthink things. Risk a couple, make a couple. So if you want the primary range, it's got to be from here to here. And speaking of that, so far, and we've got more time to go, but so far the primary trade has been down, a contra to the trend. But the trend, because we went from low to high, we have the contra, just like yesterday, is against the day's range, but it was our primary trade. So let's think this way. This is probably the meat of the range, and above this 33s and below the 24s. That's our primary range type trade right in here. And right now we have made lower highs and lower lows. So will that pattern continue? Nobody knows, but I'm suggesting that you think small, and we may get a little bit more action at lunch today because it's been so tight. Any new highs, I would let it play out and then take another shot at a short. And I'm still suggesting that 18 for sure is a big idea. And if that breaks, then anything goes coming backwards. And last resort support for the longs is this 12. First things first, you got to close the gap first, right? So before you even worry about these, I'm just throwing out ideas in case I'm relaxing and the market's moving and you're trading. At least see it. This has been a reasonable day for the shorts. I know everybody wanted gung ho, but this makes much more sense to back and fill. Boys still have shown some power and from yesterday's lows, but we also need some profit taking. The irony is if we get the profit taking in the morning, it leaves the afternoon where they could still run it up. So I'm going to think neutral. If you got your VIG, your 4 or 5 points, put it in your pocket and keep it there. Think twice about trading now. Nothing to prove. The big boys will square up this afternoon. We'll learn a lot more from those moves. But right now we've got a retest failure double top, just a marginal high, and that's been it. It's been rejected. So we need to watch 35 carefully. 35 and a half, 36, anything up here that gets rejected and comes back. Because this was all done overnight. Low volume squeeze. I'm still not believing in a lot of power today. Could be wrong. I'm just thinking they threw it up here, rah, 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 and they're just trying to hang on and save this. And until the shorts close the gap and get it back here to the rain line, even if you do, you still got to break the rain line. If you do, then you open the door down here. Those are my key support levels, step by step. And we're going to leave this on because next week we'll want it, no matter what.